Hello everyone, welcome to another Division 2 video. This one is going to be more of a tips and help for people that were kind of like myself, where they kind of just came back to this game after a long period of time. So what we're going to talk about today is two beginner slash returning to the game builds that I think everyone should try to get. Now, the good thing about these two builds is that you do not have to be you do not have to have them necessarily perfect, because if you're coming back to the game, you're not going to do the hardest content in the game that the game offers. The two things that you're going to do is you're going to focus on challenging world tier and hard world tier, because those two world tiers are going to give you the best bang for your buck when it comes to your time and like getting gear and playing the game. The other thing that you're going to do is the best way to get almost everything that I'm telling you to get is this right here. The summit or countdown. Preferably the summit, because you can do summit solo. Countdown, I think there's people that do it solo, but this is also a little bit easier. And you can also do descent, but descent is going to work a little bit differently. So, we're going to get right into this and we'll talk about these builds here. We're going to start with specialization. So, for both of these builds that I'm going to give you, the specialization that you need to use is gunner. The reason why you're going to use gunner is you have the hardened armor kits, which gives you 100% armor and gives you 30% bonus armor for 10 seconds. If you're just coming back to this game or you've just started, these are very beneficial if you have access to gunner, because it gives you more survivability and you are able to clear stuff that is a little bit harder. Bro, why you push me? The other thing is this grants 10% armor on kill. Armor on kill is crucial for survivability if you're playing by yourself, or if you're trying to clear content that is ever so slightly above your player range. So with the armor on kill, you get a kill, refills armor. You'll see when I do a little bit of a demonstration. The next is generate 10% ammo with supply line. Supply line is pretty good. I don't think it's like the end all be all for this build, but it is actually very helpful. You basically just like never have to hit the caches while you're doing stuff. Banshee Pulse is also very helpful. We will see that with the second build, not the first one. Well, I might throw it on with the first one because it does basically just stops the enemies like dead in their tracks, and you can just beam them down and you're good to go. The riot foam also helps. It's not necessary, but it's helpful. Okay, I'm had to move out here because I kept getting pushed around by NPCs. But so we're gonna get into the actual physical build. Obviously, like I said, gunner. So I want you to ignore for right now all the little stats. By little stats, I mean like crit chance, crit damage, so on and so forth. You with this build, we're gonna be talking about a striker build. You definitely want crit chance and crit damage on a striker build, but for the example that I'm giving you, you just want to get stuff. So you want to go into countdown, you want to go into summit and just get the gear, and then after you get the gear, you can figure out how you want to tweak it if you want a better piece. But for right now, just focus on the physical piece of gear, and then after that you can figure out how you want to tweak the build, what you want, because everybody wants a build that's different. There are some people that want to run the absolute metas, but like for me myself, like if you look at my stats, the meta armor right now is 1.5 million. I do not have 1.5 million because I just like a squeak more extra damage, so I have some extra damage cores. I don't have armor cores. So we're going to start right now with the weapon. Right now I have St. Elmo's Engine. You do not need to use St. Elmo's Engine. It just helps because you get the shock ammo that just stops enemies in their tracks, makes it easier for you to kill them. I have the AUG. This doesn't matter. This is just here because I was using it for countdown and I just wanted to use it. I'm also using it to get proficiency, and that's about it. But if you're going to use a gun with this build, you definitely want to use something with strained. There's probably other things you can use, but I think strained works the best for the crit chance, or excuse me, not crit chance, crit damage. because crit damage is very, very helpful with Striker, because you're going to build damage with Striker and then you're going to hit for crits, and the crits are going to hit like a truck. If you cannot get the same St. Elmo's engine, or if you are grinding to get the St. Elmo's engine and you don't have it, the FAMAS is a very, very good substitute. The only issue with the FAMAS is you're going to need a bigger mag. Right now, I'm running it with strained. Um, it's pretty good. I use it. This is my PvP loadout. Basically, this build I have right now, I just swap my gun out. Like if I go play Conflict or if I go in the DZ. So that is what you want for weapons. Your pistol doesn't really matter. And then obviously you're going to do 4-piece Striker. And if you are new or just returning and you're not sure what Striker is, with 2 pieces of Striker, you get weapon handling 15%, 3 pieces 15% rate of fire, 4 pieces Striker's Gambit. Weapon hits increase total weapon damage by 0.65%, stacking up to 100 times. 1 stack is lost per second between 0 and 50 stacks. 2 stacks lost per second between 50 and 100. So you basically are just stacking damage on top of stacking damage with Striker. The other thing is that the chest piece on gear sets, I actually did not know this. The chest piece on gear stats will give you an extra talent, and so will the backpack. So press the advantage, increase the max stack Striker's Gamble from 100 to 200, 3 stacks lost between 100 and 200. So I'm actually in the process of trying to adjust this build and getting a Striker chest piece and swapping out this steel plate or Steelworks chest piece. But the Steelworks chest piece is good as well. The backpack also gives you, I do have a Striker backpack. Gives you a perk 2, or a talent rather. Risk management increases total weapon damage gained per stack of Striker's Gamble from 0.65 to 1%. That is very good. It would be beneficial for myself to swap that out, but right now I'm using the Memento. I have not figured out something else that I can swap out with the Memento to actually do better. So I'm not exactly sure how I want to do that. But, however, to focus back in, focus right now on getting Striker stuff. So if you look at my stats, even my build is not the greatest right now. I'm still focusing on getting stuff, but all these stats are going to increase. And a lot of all these, the reason why these stats are going to increase is this right here, the Memento. The way that the Memento works, well, first off, the Memento gives you 3 cores, which is incredibly helpful, especially if you're like lacking in other areas. But Kill Confirmed is a very, very good solo talent on the Memento. Enemies you kill drop a trophy. It's just like a little thing. You'll see it when we do a little demonstration. And when you pick them up, it'll give you a buff for 10 seconds. It gives you all 3 of these at the same time. You get 5% weapon damage, 10% bonus armor, and 5% skill efficiency. And then for every trophy collected, you get 1% damage. So you pick up a trophy, it gives you those 3 stats immediately, and then as you pick more up, it'll stack the rest of those. So it'll give you 1% weapon damage, 1% skill efficiency, and 0.1% armor regen for 300 seconds for a maximum of 30. So if you pick up 30, it gives you basically 30% weapon damage, 30% skill efficiency, and I don't know the math for the other one because I'm stupid, but you know, it's very helpful for solo play because you're essentially just going to walk around and heal yourself. So that is right now so this Steelworks plate, it doesn't really matter. I'm just using Entrench because that's what this has, and it has high armor, and I needed more armor. So I'm going to hop over to a control point, and we're just going to be doing a challenging control point for this demonstration and the demonstration for the other build. I also want to add real quick, if another good weapon to run with this is the Chameleon. If you have the Chameleon, I recommend running some more armor on Striker, because the Chameleon, the way that the Chameleon is going to work is so hitting 30 headshots grants 20% crit hit chance and 50% critical hit damage for 45 seconds. Hitting 75 body shots grants 90% weapon damage for 45 seconds. Hitting 30 leg shots grants 150% reload speed for 45 seconds. Buffs refresh when out of combat. So that is going to stack with Striker. So you're going to get the Striker bonus if you hit 100 or 200, depending on what perks you have, on top of the bonuses from the Chameleon. But you want to run some extra armor with the Chameleon, because the Chameleon has very limited range, as you can tell, because like I have the St. Elmo's on right now, and you can see by the bar right there with the damage drop off. So you need to essentially use the Chameleon like an SMG and not an AR, because it is classified as an assault rifle, which is not a bad thing because it is really good, but you want a little bit of extra armor just so you can have that little bit of survivability, especially if you're trying to do harder content. But anyway, back to what we were talking about prior. So I'm going to go over to a control point. We're just going to do a level 3 control point because this is basically to showcase what a build for somebody that is newer or coming back to the game should shoot for. So we're going to do a challenging control point, just a level 3, not going to change anything, not going to piss off the control points or anything like that. These builds really shine at higher level content, but they also are incredibly helpful for, I would say, mid to slightly high level content where you're in hard and challenging. So we're going to go clear a control point. I'm going to showcase this off, and you'll see how the bonuses and the and whatnot stack with the memento and with the gunner attributes. So here we go. I also forgot to mention while I was at the base, the skills that I'm using the defender drone, because the defender drone is very helpful for oh shit situations where you are taking a lot of damage, and you could just pop that and it drops the damage by 25%. You get a skill tier from Memento, which helps you with that as well. I get 25% damage reduction, and it's very helpful. I'm also running the shield just for basically the same thing, but the shield also scales with your armor tiers and your skill tier. So the shield is a very good build for something like this, where it's kind of like a hybrid damage build slightly. So you get the stats from two sources. You get the stats from the skill tier and the armor tier. So right now, 40% active regeneration, 150% shield health, 20% holster regeneration, and you can kind of fold the shield out, use it. I'm also, before I get too ahead of myself, I'm using the Crusader, so you can shoot with the shield up. But you can fold the shield out, use it, block some damage, throw the shield, and then in like a second or two, you can pop it back out again. So it's really good to be like, hey, there's a yellow bar in front of me, pop the shield out, get in his face, shoot him, kill him, put the shield down, deal to everyone else. This build right here is the build that I have used for majority of content clearing to get other builds and do other things. So this is why I'm going to showcase this one first. I accidentally pissed off the guys behind me. I did not really want to do that because that might bring this to heroic. And I'm not trying to showcase heroic right now. But as you can see, I picked up that trophy. We got some bonus armor. So we're going to call in friendlies. If I don't get cooked by this guy behind me. So that right there, perfect. Pick this up, basically heal myself. Take that out.
Enemy in the open.
Shoot the fucker!
Holy shit!
Detecting additional hostile contacts.
So as you can tell, I'm just basically just face tanking damage. We're gonna toss the shield, push up.
Here comes another!
Grab these memento trophies.
Access key detected. Heavily armored hostile detected.
Oh, what just happened? I don't know why I popped off cover. It's fine. Good. Get a little bit extra armor from the gunner armor.
Running out of bodies.
There we go. So wave 1 is cleared. Pick up this extra armor. The leader's dead. I thought I killed them, but it's fine. Alright. So we wait for the counterattack.
Incoming hostiles detected.
And if you can see down by my gear stuff, the striker bonus is almost always stacked, so you don't have to worry about that. And you can also use enemies like this to heavily stack the striker bonus. Get the health regen, or not health, the armor regen.
Dropped out of sight.
Enemy leader has been detected.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
So also don't forget to, you can get aggressive with this build. That's majority of the point. Find out where this guy is. Oh, he's right there. Because you essentially can have a absolute crazy amount of armor with the memento procs. Leader's dead. Cool. So, super easy, very, very simple,
Detected. The control point in proximity.
very, very easy way to clear out things and stuff, you know. Super helpful for newer players and people like myself that are returning to the game. So we're going to hop over to another control point, and we're going to talk about the other build that I am going to give you guys some tips on. So I will see you over there in a moment. Alright everyone, so we're going to talk about the second build here, and the second build is going to be a Hunter's Fury. So Hunter's Fury is something that you want to be very aggressive with, because Hunter's Fury is going to give you benefits for being very close to the enemies that you're killing. So with Hunter's Fury, we get 15% shotgun damage, 15% SMG damage, 20% armor on kill, 50% health on kill, and Apex Predator. Enemies within 15 meters receive a debuff, amplifying your weapon damage against them by 20%. Killing a debuffed enemy with your weapon disorients other enemies within 5 meters and applies weapon damage by 5, amplifies, weapon damage by 5% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. So you're basically, your goal is to just be in everyone's face and kill them as fast as you possibly can. So this build is not as optimized as my striker one, just because I have not used it much lately. I've been using the striker build all the time. But basically it is the same thing as the striker build, but I just have a different gear set. But again, same thing with the striker. You could use this chest piece. You get Endless Hunger, increases the duration of Apex Predator stacks from 10 seconds to 30 seconds. It is definitely a good benefit if you want to use that. Right now I'm just using this because my armor is very low. You can, I recommend using, I don't know if I have a Hunter's Fury bag to show that. I recommend using the memento for this, but if you do not have the memento and you just want to use the striker bag or the Hunter's Fury bag, the Hunter's Fury bag gives you overwhelming force, increase the radius of disorient on Apex Predator kills from 5 meters to 10 meters, which is definitely helpful. So for weapons, I'm using the Lady Death. The only reason I'm using the Lady Death is because I did not have a great SMG to run, and this is just what is on the loadout I have. You can definitely probably run something like this, like the Tactical AUG with Strained. Strained is very good because it gives you extra crit hit damage, which is very crucial, especially if you're just trying to essentially pummel everything. But Lady Death, breathe free when moving, gain 4 stacks per second or 8 stacks if sprinting. Max stacks is equal to weapon's manganese size. Each round fired consumes a stack, amplifying damage by 75%. Kills grant 20% movement speed for 10 seconds. So basically, you get a free bonus for sprinting. That's what it is. So if you have the Lady Death, I definitely recommend using it with Hunter's Fury, but you don't have to. You can use whatever guns you have, whatever works. And I just have a shotgun because, you know, it gives me shotgun damage. There's definitely better shotguns to run than this one. I think I have the lefty. I would probably change it out for the lefty. I'm just using this one because it has Optimus, and as I fire, it does a fuck ton of damage. And the backup boomstick doesn't matter. I'm using this right now because it is for proficiency. It just didn't save, and so when I flopped over. But this is the build right here, guys. It's not anything crazy. Again, you just want to focus on the gear sets and giving yourself armor so you can give yourself survivability so you are good to go when you're trying to do things. The same thing as prior. I'm using the drone and the shield. Same setup, Defender drone, Crusader shield. If you want to, you can use the Banshee Pulse. I am not going to use the Banshee Pulse just because I just want to face deck everything, so I'm just going to use the shield. The Banshee Pulse is definitely helpful. I don't know if, off the top of my head, if the Disorient from the Banshee Pulse actually does extra damage with the Apex Predator. If I had to guess, it probably does. I'm not 100% sure. But just for all intents and purposes of what I've been running, we're just gonna showcase it with this, and maybe I'll do some extra testing off camera, and we can see. But I'm gonna head over to my control point, and then I will see you guys over there in a minute. All right, so here we are. We're at the control point. I'm gonna get up here and call in some. Actually, we're gonna get a little closer, and I'm gonna call in some reinforcements, and then we're gonna hopefully go to town and not get mapped. So, boop. Pick up your memento bonuses. Get close to him so you get your debuff. Then you're going to want to move quickly. You just want to stay close to enemies, obviously, but you want to be careful that you don't get killed. See that armor regen from Gunner really saved me there. I was probably gonna die if I didn't get it. We're gonna toss the shield, move again, kill him, get more armor, pick up memento, get even more armor. That guy's a little far away, but you know, it's fine. Melt him. Them. That should have given me a disorient bonus, but it's fine. So you can see how aggressive you can be with this. You could be more aggressive with the Striker build, but this is just the whole point of this is to be aggressive. See how fast you can just kill people. Dead. Run out of ammo. And I'm constantly moving, which is giving me the Lady Death stacks. So you can kill things even faster. Basically, you're just stacking amplified damage, if you can, with whatever you can. That's a turret. Move over here. That guy's burned. Okay, now we gotta get defend from the counterattack. See how quickly you can just turn and burn people? Especially if you watch the Lady Death thing, it's kind of the double guns down to the bottom. You can see how fast I'm stacking that just by sprinting around.
Detecting additional hostile contacts.
Get the disorient proc, and then you just mop them up, pick up your memento tags,
Setting up my turret.
kill him,
What's this guy doing here?
kill him. Obviously, this build I can benefit from more crit and stuff like that, but you know, just this is for a demonstration of like the people that have day jobs and you know can't be gaming all the time. This is the best way to. It's a very good way to clear the game. So stuff like this. We have the leader. I just generated some ammo. Disoriented, so I'm walking all fucked up. And you get your drone and everything back by picking up the things, because you get the skill stuff from Memento. Leader's dead. Crony's dead. This guy's dead. And we're done. So you can see how easily you can do things with this type of build. It's very beneficial for, I would say, newer players or people just coming back. And it's super easy to get. Hopefully you can hear me over the thunderstorm because it's loud as hell. But you can very easily get this in, like I said, the Summit or Countdown. And you can hopefully get some of the exotics by grinding Countdown, getting the Countdown supplies, and getting exotic caches. But we're going to pop out of here. I'm going to get the supply cache. I'm going to get this key cache first. We're going to pop out of here, and then I'll leave you guys with some closing thoughts, and then we'll be out of here. Alright, everyone. So, I hope this video was helpful for some of you newer players or returning players that don't really know what to do when it comes to builds. I myself am a relatively returning player. I haven't played the game in a couple of years, and these two builds are
Backup request.
my bread and butter. The Striker build has been my go-to for everything. The whole goal with these is to get them so then you can grind out other things in the game. I would not focus on stat-heavy things except for your cores. Your cores should be as high as you can possibly get them. But the other ones, like obviously you want crit. If you want some armor regen or some armor on kill, that's cool too. It is really up to you. These builds are very versatile. If you would like to run a Striker tank build, which is what I'm working on with the Chameleon, that's cool too if you can get the Chameleon. But anyway, I'm rambling at this point. I really hope this helped you guys. I really hope you guys can get these builds and enjoy this game for it being as good as it is right now in year 5. And I hope this might help you for prepping for the next season or the next year of content, because if you're like me, you're very excited for the next year of Division 2. But anyway, guys, I'm out. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. If this video was helpful, please give it a like, give me a comment, whatever. Any support is helpful. I appreciate you guys. I will see you in the next one. Toodaloo.